Now at 5:30, a man taken to the hospital after an early morning crash. How weather may have played a role in this, and more in your morning forecast just ahead.
We'll stay on top of weather on WKYT this morning, and today Hillary Clinton will officially accept the nomination of the Democratic Party for president. We'll have the latest from that national convention coming up.
And the University of Louisville trustees accepted the resignation of President James Ramsey. We've got details on this ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. A rainy, stormy start to this morning for many. If it's not there yet in your area, it is coming. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Definitely want to have that umbrella handy today because it is really heavy, the rain out there right now.
Going to watch it. It's a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day as we keep you informed as to what's going on. Here is meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, those roadways are soggy, especially across central, north, east, and west. Okay, those areas have picked up the most amount of rain. Now, southern zone's not really seeing it just yet. That comes later on in the morning and into early afternoon. Flash flood watch in effect for everyone in the viewing area. Still looks like 1 to 2 inches of rain for most, some 3 to 4 inches of rain when it's all said and done. So the first batch, here's the first wave. And you can see the heaviest part of this is actually over that Bath County region heading off into Fleming County and also Rowan County coming out of Menifee County. Now, the next batch actually is down toward the south of us, and that's toward Bowling Green. So we're going to, once we get that first batch out of the way, we'll take a bit of a break, and then we'll bring the next wave in here in the next 2 to about 4 hours. Heavy rain is likely, though. That goes for everybody. 79 degrees today, 79 degrees. So the rain helps us out in that way, but still leading to some flash flooding. We're going to go over that into further detail coming up.
Thank you. Let's get updates on what's going on out there with the rain.
With the storms moving through our area today and plenty of rain expected, it's important to take, of course, extra precaution when you're out on the road. And
early this morning, a car crashed into a motorized scooter on South Broadway. Police say they don't know exactly what caused the crash. It was dark and raining at the time. Weather could be a factor. WKYT's Mark Barber is live this morning with details on that. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Police say that person who crashed into a man who was in that motorized wheelchair here at Gibson Avenue and South Broadway is not facing any charges because they do not know why this crash happened. However, as you just mentioned, investigators say that it was dark and it was raining at the time of the crash, so the weather could have played a factor in that crash here. Now, the man who was in a wheelchair has been taken to the hospital, but he is expected to be okay. It's been 2 hours since that crash happened, and the rain is still falling, so caution is still needed on these wet roads. This morning, you're going to want to watch out for ponding water in low areas and slick spots where it will be difficult for your tires to grip the road. The rain, of course, will slow you down a bit itself this morning, but it's not a bad idea to go ahead and try to get out the door a couple minutes early. That way you have plenty of time to take your time. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, thank you, Mark. Be careful out there.
Heads up, right, because it's pretty tough to travel right now.
It is. Well, Hillary Clinton formally accepts her party's nomination for president tonight on the fourth and final day of the Democratic National Convention.
Yesterday, the Democratic presidential nominee got an impassioned endorsement from President Obama, who joined other speakers in attacking her opponent, Republican Donald Trump. Jamie Yukas has the latest from Philadelphia.
Hillary Clinton joined President Obama on the convention stage, her former political foe turned biggest ally.
She is fit and she is ready to be the next commander-in-chief.
The president used his address Wednesday night to bash her opponent, Donald Trump.
The Donald is not really a plans guy. He's not really a facts guy either.
Vice President Joe Biden, newly minted VP Tim Kaine, and others added their voices to the multi-pronged attack.
He has no clue about what makes America great. Actually, he has no clue, period. You cannot believe one word that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth.
Trump says he wants to run the nation like he's running his business? God help us. I'm a New Yorker, and I know a con when I see one.
Top Democrats also used their remarks to bash Donald Trump and his call to Russia to find Hillary Clinton's missing emails.
It is inconceivable to me that any presidential candidate would be that irresponsible.
Delegates in the arena say they're even more energized to vote for Clinton in November.
We cannot have Donald Trump as our president. I mean, the man is just off his rocker.
Clinton will have the last word tonight when she formally accepts the Democratic nomination for president. Jamie Yukis, CBS News, Philadelphia.
And Chelsea Clinton will be introducing her mother tonight. The day's theme at the convention is Stronger Together. The University of Louisville trustees accepted the resignation of President James Ramsey. Michelle Chamberlain is at our alert desk with the details on that major development.
Yeah, the resignation signals the end of an era as Ramsey led the university for 14 years. University trustees accepted his resignation last night after 6 hours of closed-door deliberations. Now, Ramsey was credited with raising academic standards and helping to grow the school from a commuter campus to a distinguished research institution. But during his time as president, Ramsey came under fire for several scandals. The board announced last night that Ramsey will be paid nearly $700,000 and will resign immediately. All of this with an agreement that he will not sue the school.
We're learning more about a flight from Lexington to Charlotte that took an unexpected turn. Police say they arrested a passenger when he became violent on the plane during a landing at Charlotte Thursday. They say Michael Kerr threatened the flight crew, kicked and shoved a flight attendant, and had to be physically restrained. Another passenger caught some of that on video.
Oh, get over it. You gotta get off eventually.
Say the pilot and co-pilot eventually restrained Kerr, and other crew members wrapped a seatbelt strap around his ankles. Maybe they retrained him on how to be a passenger who doesn't do this. Officers then came and arrested him. He continued to put up a fight. According to an FBI criminal complaint, Kerr was served 3 Jack Daniels before the flight, or during the flight, I should say. He now faces multiple charges in addition to the federal charge of interfering with duties of a flight crew. Kerr is charged with being intoxicated and disruptive, communicating threats, and assault.
Police in eastern Kentucky spent hours searching for a man who they say is armed and dangerous. Police were searching in Owsley County for Tim Lawson. They say he stole a gun and an older model green Chevy truck. Police later spotted Lawson. They say he led them on a chase from Clay County into neighboring Owsley County. Lawson was last seen in the area of Highway 846. Lexington police are searching for a man who they say robbed a store at gunpoint. That happened about 9 last night at the CVS on Old Todd's Road. Police say a man brought some merchandise up to the counter and acted like he was going to buy it. But when the clerk opened the register, the man pulled out a gun and demanded money. He then ran off with some money. Police say the suspect is a white man, about 5'6", weighs about 140 pounds, and he was last seen wearing a black shirt, olive-colored shorts, and a black hat. New this morning, police say 2 men stole about $3,000 worth of guns after slamming a Corvette right into a Louisville gun store. The owners of Tilford's Discount Guns say his security cameras caught the Corvette speeding backwards through the parking lot before slamming in the front of his store, leaving a hole in the wall. All of this happening yesterday morning. By the time police got there, they just found the front end of the Corvette hanging out the entrance to the gun store. The store owner says the 2 men who were inside for less than 10 seconds and took about 2 pistols. Police say they are working with the ATF now to track down the 2 men and the missing weapons.
Firefighters think lightning may have sparked a fire that destroyed a Kentucky police officer's home. The fire started early yesterday morning in Taylor County. Hodgkinville police officer Eddie Dockery was at work at the time, but his wife and 2-year-old son were inside the home. They got out safely and no one was injured. The family says they were leasing the house and did not have renter's insurance.
We've pretty much, everything's a total loss, so we're just asking for everything that we can get right now.
Neighbors think the fire had been smoldering for hours after the lightning strike before it spread, and the family realized what had happened.
The 2016 Wildcat Kickoff Luncheon is today. The luncheon, hosted by the Greater Louisville UK Alumni Club and Central Bank, will be at the Galt House Hotel in downtown Louisville. Wildcats head coach Mark Stoops, defensive coordinator DJ Elliott, and the offensive coordinator Eddie Gran will share their thoughts on the upcoming season. Fans will also get a sneak peek at the latest highlight film. RSVPs to the event were due this past Monday, so they needed to know if you were going. They do expect a big crowd, and of course we'll have reports later on WKYT today. All right, time to check live drive traffic this morning. Let's see what's going on in the rain on your Thursday.
All right, you know, it's looking good out there right now. Obviously, that could be a different scenario we're dealing with here in an hour or so. Hopefully, you know, not too many accidents, but you do have to watch out and be a defensive driver when you're talking about rain like this. And see, it's really hard to see some of those lines.
Oh, it comes to, those downpours can really slow things up, and you should to be on the safe side. This is the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government's live drive cam at Limestone and Maxwell this morning. And you can see the rain just coming down there, and this ponding and puddling is going to be an issue. So everybody heads up on that. Take it easy today. More news coming up on WKYT this morning. Good to have you with us.
It's turtle hatching season. One area of Florida will have a record number of baby sea turtles making their way to the ocean, and this is just some of the cutest video you've ever seen.
I think they would like all this rain. Now, we don't so much because we're looking at flash flooding being an issue for today. It's stormy, will come in waves. I'll show you when the rain continues to move in from the south and when it actually moves out. That's coming up next. Getting some pretty heavy downpours early this morning. If you're hearing it on your roof, yeah, that rain will just continue to fall, especially northern zones. It's just going to take some time, another hour, maybe an hour and a half before we can actually move this batch on out. The heaviest rain right now, the strongest storm, is actually back toward the east. You go into Moorhead and Lakeview Heights and then work your way into Hillsborough, go off towards, say, Flemingsburg. That's where we're seeing in Fleming County some pretty heavy rain at this moment. Maysville Road absolutely soaked. 64 all the way to Rowan County is soaked too. One just came out of Frenchburg in Menifee County now, and the far northern and also eastern portions of Menifee County, and that'll roll off into Morgan County, portions of that. Not so much West Liberty, but you go north of that across Highway 7. That's going to be a wet go at it this morning. So all that's moving over toward the east. We still have bits and pieces, some light to moderate rain here in Lexington. Heavy downpour now in Danville and Perryville, Junction City. Those areas, they're seeing at least some rain around there, and that's all moving toward the northeast. So just keep in mind, these areas are extremely soaked now. The next wave coming through, you could start to see a few more of these, and that is going to be your flash flood warning. That goes into effect until 6:45 for Shelby, Spencer, Franklin, which does include Frankfort, and also portions of Scott County, which basically includes the Stamping Ground region. So here's the high-resolution model. Let me take you hour by hour. Watch this. This will help you plan out the rest of your day. Look down south and southeast. Not much going on throughout much of your morning. The plume of moisture is still right through where it is at this moment. Now you head off towards, say, noontime, and it still looks like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., noon. You're still looking at that heavy rain here in Lexington, and then finally start to get that around noontime in the southeast. But finally, that plume of moisture will start to settle itself over toward the east as we go throughout the afternoon. Look at 5 p.m. Check that out. 5 to about 8 p.m., you'll start to see this fade away. And so going out to eat, trying to get dinner plans going on, should not be what you're looking at right now. I don't expect it to be anything like it is right now. So most of the rain is morning hours into afternoon hours, late afternoon, early evening. It starts to fade away. That doesn't mean it's leaving. It just starts to fade away, the bulk of it. So we'll still have hit and miss later on this evening, off into the night. Not as widespread the next few days. However, the next few days still look like hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. So it's one of those times that some of us will see them, some of us will not. And that goes all the way through Saturday and Sunday. Still stick to your plans. It's going to be like the past few days where some of us have picked up on some of those thunderstorms. And even some of us the past few days have actually stayed dry. I actually had some people on Twitter and Facebook tell me, I haven't seen rain in the past 3 to 4 days. And it's pretty crazy to some of us because some of us picked up some pretty good rain the past 3 or 4 days. That's the way it's going to be there for Friday into the weekend. Not today, though. 100% chance of rain. That means you have rain chances today. You will get some rain. 79 degrees too, guys.
Got a message on Facebook, a guy in Frankfurt. He said, we haven't had rain. I said, you probably do now.
You do now, absolutely.
All right, the time this morning is 5:47. There's just a few weeks left in turtle nesting season. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but this is an adorable video. In one part of Florida, this year's season has been off the charts. According to the St. Joseph Peninsula Turtle Patrol, volunteers have found a record number of sea turtle nests on the southern part of the peninsula this summer. Look at those cute little things. So far, they found 245 nests. Some are starting to hatch. In this particular nest, 83 baby turtles have already hatched, and there's still a few unhatched eggs. A few of the turtles have even made their way out to the water. Look at them go. One of the volunteers says the excitement stays the same every time she sees the turtles hatch. Go
well,
figure.
It is cool. It's
it
neat
is
to
so
see.
cute.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Moving along there.
Oh.
All right, we're glad you're with us here on WKYT bright and early with those rain showers moving through. That's going to be the deal of the day.
Yeah, try to stay dry out there
Yeah.
this morning. Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
We'll check traffic, see how things are moving along. We have health news and a lot more, and it sure is good to have you with us here on WKYT this morning.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
All right, lots of rain out there this morning. Everybody keep that in mind as you prepare for the day ahead. Micah was just telling us that's going to be the case for most of the day. Good morning again. We're coming up on 5:52.
Let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
With the storms moving through the area today, plenty of rain expected. It is important to take some extra precaution. Give yourself some extra time out on the roads. A man has been taken to the hospital early this morning after a car crashed into a motorized scooter on South Broadway in Lexington. Police say they don't know what caused the crash, but it was dark and raining at the time.
Hillary Clinton is expected to formally accept her party's nomination for president tonight on the fourth and final day of the Democratic National Convention.
At the convention yesterday, President Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, and the newly minted VP nominee Tim Kaine delivered a multi-pronged attack on Donald Trump's policies and business record. Former CIA Director Leon Panetta used his remarks to bash Donald Trump's recent call for Russia to find emails deleted from the private server that Clinton used while she was Secretary of State.
Federal officials say there's little doubt that Russia is behind the hacking of more than 19,000 emails from the Democratic National Committee.
And this morning, the drama surrounding the cyber attack continues after Donald Trump called on Russia to find Clinton's missing State Department emails. Hannah Daniels now with the latest on that.
Donald Trump's call to enlist foreign help against rival Hillary Clinton set off a political firestorm.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
A reference to emails from Hillary Clinton's non-secured private server while Secretary of State. At a packed Pennsylvania rally, the billionaire businessman says he has no ties to Russia and the DNC email hack.
Trump. I'm sitting there watching, I'm saying, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? I wish I had that power. Man, that would be power.
Democrats took Trump's controversial comments and ran with them on the third night of their convention.
He personally invited Russia to hack us. That's not law and order, that's criminal intent.
Donald Trump, who wants to be president of the United States, is asking one of our adversaries to engage in hacking.
Vice President Joe Biden blasted Trump for his public admiration of Russia's leader.
We cannot elect a man who belittles our closest allies while embracing dictators like Vladimir Putin. No, I mean it.
The Trump campaign responded to the DNC message saying, never has a party been so disconnected from what is happening in our world. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
And the Clinton campaign released a statement yesterday saying, quote, this has to be the first time that a major presidential candidate has actively encouraged a foreign power to conduct espionage against his political opponent.
Today, Vice President Biden and Attorney General Loretta Lynch will speak at a public vigil honoring the 3 Baton Rouge police officers who lost their lives in the line of duty. The officers were ambushed by a former Marine more than a week ago. The gunman was later killed by SWAT officers. Authorities say today's event will give the community a chance to celebrate the officers' service and sacrifice. Now into today's top health stories.
Researchers at Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis have identified antibodies in mice that can protect against the Zika virus. They say the discovery can lead to vaccines, diagnostic tests, and therapies to treat people with Zika. Secondhand marijuana smoke may damage blood vessels. That's according to new research at the University of California. It found that blood vessels can take 3 times longer to recover function when exposed to just a minute of marijuana smoke.
Let's get a check on today's traffic travel spots right now. Let's look at live drive traffic, a wet start for your commute.
See what's going on here is the look at the region this morning, the current to travel into Lexington from the surrounding areas. It really looks good at the moment. No major slowdowns. The only slowdown is as these showers move through. You just have to back off in your speed, and certainly you should. Let's shift now to the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Government's live drive cam. This is at Limestone and Maxwell. As you see folks waiting for a light change there, they are are in the rain, and that is what is going on throughout the region this morning. It's coming down steadily in most areas and heavily in some areas, and Mike is going to keep us on top of that throughout the morning. So we want to check in with him now as we head toward the 6 o'clock hour.
Very wet roadways. That's what's going to affect us this morning as you're walking outside. Central, northeastern zones, that's where we're seeing that heaviest rain. Heaviest rain now over Fleming County, making its way up toward Lewis County. Heads up, Lewis County, it's heading your direction, and coming out of Moorhead there in Rowan County, which will slide off into Carter County very shortly. We'll take a bit of a break from the heaviest rain here in about an hour or two, and then Bowling Green. Yeah, here comes that next wave that's going to be rolling on in. That will affect us again here in the next couple of hours. But we're going to take you through a timeline. I'm going to show you when you can actually get a few breaks and also when the bulk of the rain moves on out. If you're about to take off, be careful there on the roadways, as it looks like roadways pretty much everywhere are wet this morning.